Nowadays, it's very important for us to know who to trust. Lalo na sa pagbili ng sasakyan. Sobrang daming pwedeng pagpilian pero iilan lang ang totoong maaasahan. Who doesn't want an easy and convenient car buying process? Who should we trust to get all your car buying needs? AutoDeal has all the answers. AutoDeal is an all-in-one platform for your car needs. It makes your car buying experience worthy and more convenient. Up to 450 highly rated car dealers nationwide pa ang pwedeng pagpilian. So what are you waiting for? Simplify your car buying journey and get the best deal at autodeal.com.ph.
Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. My name is Alec Cuenca and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening to the show. If you're a first time listening to this podcast episode, I hope you like this one. If you do, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes that we have here. And if you are listening to this podcast for the end time, then welcome back. I'm so happy that you're still here. I'm so happy that you're invested in personal development. And again, I have another special guest here. And of course, we are still here at Spotify Creator Mixdown. I'm just meeting amazing people, the people that I look up to. And of course, my guest needs no introduction, but he has inspired a lot of people, and especially here in the Philippines, to just create, to start living their own lives. Especially, I also got inspired watching your video. So if you, the United States has Casey Neistat, we have the one and only Wil Dasovich.
Damn, let's go. I'm blushing. That was a really nice intro. You're so good at what you do. My intro's just, hey guys, welcome back to Superhuman. Today's episode is with Alec Cuenca. And then I don't know what to do after that. And then I just talk. Dude, I wish I could be that good. I'm a horrible host. I just be myself, and I don't know. For some reason, it works.
I'm humbled, and again, thank you so much. It's so funny that you were just outside, and I asked you if you would like to record a podcast, and you said yes, which I am so grateful for.
Yeah, I was like, "Who are you?" You're like, "My name's Alec," and I was like, "Alec Cuenca?" Because I always see you. I'm right next to you in the Spotify list.
Yeah.
And like the rating or trending, whatever.
Yeah, the funny thing was, I think when my podcast peaked at number 2, like Will's podcast was at number 1. And I was like praying, like, Will, come on, go down. Let me take that spot. But I wasn't able to do that. But now I'm here talking to you. And one of the things that I really love about your show as well, it's really the title. It's Superhuman, because I believe that that's what you've been able to achieve. You've been able to not just achieve ordinary good things or great things, but also extraordinary, superb things. So my first question is, if you got any piece of advice for anyone who wants to sustain their like greatness in the long run, because that's what you did. I've seen you created content before. Now you're still here. You have 3 YouTube channels. You're doing your podcast, doing a lot of things, but you're still being able to like produce at a very high level. What's your one piece of advice for them?
My one piece of advice, just go out and continue to explore. I think like the main theme of everything I do, from my vlogs to my podcasts to like personal conversations, even off air, is I just want people to go out and explore and, you know, find the meaning of life, which is just to have fun and do different things and have new experiences and gain knowledge, get cultured, visit new places, meet new people. There's so much that has happened, right? In my life, but I'd say one instance, you know, when I was going through, because we talked about this off air very briefly, you know, battling cancer. Like when I had to go through that, that's when I had this realization that there's so much out there to do in life. And because it's usually people don't realize how lovely life is until they get to a point where they're trapped and they don't have a choice. And for me, that happened when I was like stuck in a hospital bed. And for a lot of people, I feel like that happened kind of during the pandemic, because finally we were stripped of our freedoms. We had to stay in one place. We were fearful of going out, or we just were not allowed to go out. And then it made us realize how important and appreciative we are of the simplest things like sunlight and the outside world, and being able to go for a run and stuff. So, what keeps me going though is I kind of just feed off the energy of my audience. I think that's like one of the most powerful things that keeps me going, because I mean, I'm sure you know, life is not easy. It's really difficult. And I feel like we all make it difficult ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we all kind of get lost in our thoughts and everything. But yeah, I mean, you just got to keep showing up, and you just got to keep putting in the effort.
That's, I think, if people understand what you're trying to say, and it could literally give them a whole level of freedom. It's just showing up every single day, even if you don't feel like doing it. And I'm sure that you also shared that you are feeding off, the positive energy from your audience as well. But I also want to ask, as you said, sometimes life can be difficult and you get these not so good energies. How do you filter them off? Or if ever like someone affects you in a bad way, how do you try manage your energy levels or bounce back from that?
So I don't know if this is good advice.
Yeah.
Wow. That is cracking. Yeah, I don't know if this is good advice, but I just stay away from negative, like really bad negativity, because I'm hyper aware of my emotions and how I feel, because I always want to be optimized and performing my best. And I notice if there's bad energy dragging me down, then I get rid of it or I stay away from it. So if I believe someone is toxic in my life, then I'll just straight up cut them out. And I think that goes for social media as well. Like if you're following someone that's not making you feel better or adding value to your life, then you can unfollow them or mute them so they don't know that that you unfollowed them. Or even on YouTube, or just like the content that you're consuming. I'm always consuming content that lifts me up for the most part. Every now and again, I'll check the news and see some bad story because I'm interested. But like what I'm consuming 90% of the time is pretty much like self-development podcasts. And I'm always interested in learning how to eat better, how to exercise better, how to meditate, how to function better, and do whatever I need to do to optimize my body. So
I love that. I also believe that, whatever is showing up on the external world, it's really because of what's going inside. So maybe the reason why you have a not so good environment is because what you're feeding inside your mind and your heart and your body is also not good. So I just want to ask, because you mentioned you're listening to podcasts that are really heavy on personal development.
Yeah.
So what are some podcasts that you listen to? Maybe you can share it with our listeners. Yeah,
I'd say my number one, Tim Ferriss, really was, I think, my biggest inspiration to start a podcast. Yeah. So if Casey Neistat were my vlog inspiration, Tim Ferriss is like my podcast peg. Cause he's gone through so much that I look up to people who have battled depression and then who became really successful. Cause I've never experienced depression or anything like near depression, but from listening to it, I can imagine how difficult it is. And I don't know, those people inspire me the most that go through the mental battles. Cause, I dealt with physical illnesses and that manifests into mental troubles. But I've never been at a extremely low point. So yeah, I don't know.
I love
Tim Ferriss. I like Joe Rogan as well, just because it's well-rounded. There's hunting, there's, politics, but not too political. It's funny. There's health, there's everything.
Awesome. So you have Joe Rogan and of course Tim Ferriss. I love his book, The 4-Hour Workweek. That was like one of the first books I ever read. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have this new book. It's The 4-Hour Body Work Week.
That's cool. That's a fast book. That's good.
It's this thick. It's so thick.
Oh.
Yeah.
I listened to it on audiobook. It's only a 3-hour
Really?
listen or something. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe it has a lot of pictures, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
The blue one.
And it has like the routines and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the workout stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim Ferriss is also an inspiration to a lot of people, a lot of my viewers as well. So thank you for sharing that. And one thing that I want to ask before we actually
Before
get
the
back,
music drowns us out. Yeah.
and there's someone performing outside. We're gonna enjoy that a little bit later.
Mahirap talagang maiwan ng taong mahal. Pero mas mahirap ang masiraan ng kotse sa gitna ng daan. Don't let this happen again. It's time to upgrade with AutoDeal, an all-in-one platform for your car needs. Para sa sulit and wide selection of promos and trustworthy sales agent, sagot na ng AutoDeal yan. AutoDeal can bring you one tap closer to your dream car with more than 450 highly rated partner car dealers nationwide. So, no need to worry for your next road trip. Visit autodeal.com.ph to get the best car deals.
But one thing that I would like to ask Will, is really how do you step into your greatness? Because one thing that I noticed from you is no matter what noise outside is, the world, illnesses, anything that is trying to put you down on your back, you find a way to get back up. You find a way to exceed expectations. Yeah. So how do you, or what's the secret, if you can share it with our audience here, what's the secret in stepping into in your own greatness and allowing yourself to be, superhuman?
I think my mantra, or like my definition of success, is just doing better than you did yesterday. And that can be so small. That's it. Just doing something a little better, just being better than you were the day before, or even the week before, because you can have a few bad days, and that could be as simple as. So right now I'm training for free diving. I'm gonna join a national competition next month. I'm gonna try and break the national record for the breath hold, which is like 5.5 minutes. Yeah. I don't know when this is coming out, but who knows if that'll happen by then. But yeah, I just I look at, if I did my breathing practices today, my breathing practice exercises today, then I just feel successful. Or if I did my 30-minute yoga in the morning, I feel successful. So it's just, if you're making the effort every single day and just making a small improvement, then that's success.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Also, disclaimer, I just got off of a plane. I'm running on 36 hours of no sleep. I've been in Europe for a month. So I'm so not coherent right now.
It's okay.
I don't know if anything I said made sense. If we did this on a full night's of sleep, I'm telling you, it'd be 10 times better.
Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Let's do another one, right?
Yeah, usually in podcasts, even with when I have a guest, right? I usually need 15-20 minutes to warm up, and then the last 30 to 4 minutes is the gold. So this is the warm up.
Yeah, it's just a warm up. So we'll have another episode.
We will collab
very, very soon. Yeah.
Yes. And we'll do this. You interview me, I interview you. Yeah. It'll be more of a conversation as an interview.
I love it. And a more long form than this 10 minutes blitz.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast less than 30 minutes. Maybe less than 40. Yeah, I think 30 minutes. No, 40 minutes. This is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
How can you have a deep conversation in 10 minutes? Well, we tried our best.
Yeah. Anyway, the name of the podcast is Small Talks, or that's how we do small talk, I guess, here in our space. But again, thank you so much. And I'd just like to end this before we actually go have a small segment here. And the small segment is called Real Talk. So it's basically you answering my questions with either one word, one phrase, or one sentence. Okay. So my first question is, for you, what is love?
What is love?
Yep.
I don't know. People asked me this recently on these last podcasts, but I will say Love is when your significant other will peel your shrimp for you or crack your crab for you. Or it's when you're sleeping at night and they'll make you kuto kuto and they'll do that to your head. To me, that is the simple meaning of love.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. you sounded so profound now with the kuto kuto and the shrimps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so second question is, what's your definition of happiness?
Definition of happiness. I can't believe I've never been asked this before. Happiness is living with purpose. It's someone who has found their purpose. And their purpose could be anything. It could be super simple. It could be taking care of a cat. It can be taking care of plants and just like having like a nice little, garden, just doing something that fulfills you and makes you feel like you have purpose. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. The third question is, if you would be an animal, what animal would you be?
I'd be a monkey.
Of course.
Because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think that embodies who I am. I just want to know about everything. I want to explore. I want to ask questions. I want to investigate. So yeah, monkey.
I love that. Thank you so much again. And my second to last question is, Will, what is the worst advice you have ever received?
The worst advice
Yeah.
I had ever seen?
You'd
or
ever
listened
received?
to? Received? Probably all the advice I got when I was trying to vlog. Everyone telling me that it's not going to work out. What I'm doing is weird and I'm wasting my time. Because no one had done that before. Daily vlogging wasn't like a thing back in the day when I started.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because if I listened to everyone, then I wouldn't be here today
Yep.
and I wouldn't have ever vlogged. So
Okay. So my last question would be, Will, what is the best advice you have ever received?
best advice I have ever received. Shoot first and ask questions later.
Ooh.
No, but that's a better way to put it is learn by doing.
Learn by doing.
Yeah, learn by doing. Trial and error. Everyone, I feel like people live with an analysis paralysis. Everyone wants to like be perfect or be in control before they go out and do something because they want to be successful. But in order to be successful, you have to keep trying things and you have to fail again and again, and you can't be afraid to fail. Or you can be afraid to fail, but you do it anyway and you have the courage to go through it. That's how I live my life, is I just continue to do things and I continue to fail. But with every failure, I get better and I learn from my mistake.
You're an inspiration, Will. Thank you so
Dude,
much.
so are you.
Thank
You're
you
way
so
better
much.
at interviewing than I am. I'll give you that much. And I've probably been doing this for longer than you, and you're way better than me.
I'm humbled and I'm really honored, especially coming from you. I've watched you grow, and you were really inspiring still. A lot of people out there, and I'm just really, really happy that I got to meet you here in our event. And so thank you so much for sharing your time, sharing your energy, and sharing your life as well with us tonight. And yes, guys, if you enjoy this episode here, please do not forget to share this. And by the way, if the listeners right now want to learn more about your content, where can they find you online?
Well, if you listen to him, who's very self-development and positive and all this stuff, I'm pretty similar. My
Yeah.
podcast is pretty similar. So
But on steroids.
I would recommend. Yeah, I would recommend. Yeah, try my podcast out and see if you learn a thing or two about self-development. And I would start, actually, to get to know me, I would start with my very first episode. Because it's deep. It's about me. And it took me a month to make one podcast episode. It's like a movie, but like audio. Because this was before they allowed videos.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome. I'm excited.
it took me a month to make one podcast.
I'm sure a lot of people will definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Will.
Again, this is like the worst I've ever performed on a podcast because
No.
I'm on 36 hours without sleep. So everything I'm saying might not be making sense, but I could not pass up this opportunity. Dude, you're a beautiful soul, and
Thank you.
I'm really delighted to meet you and be with you and to do this. Ichigo Ichiae.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure a lot of the people who are going to listen to this podcast will get a lot of value. You may not see it now, but definitely I got inspired. So thank you again for just being here with us and sharing all of your insights. And again, thank you to everyone who is listening right now. If you like this episode, go ahead and share this on your Instagram. Don't forget to tag me at Alec Cuenca and at Wil Dasovich, right? On Instagram as well. Go check Wil's social media accounts, videos, podcasts. Links are down below. Go ahead, check them out. And again, thank you so much for being here. My name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. Now exclusively on Spotify, powered by Anchor. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.
Peace. Dude, that was great. Love it.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.